There are moments on a talent show stage when a single voice stops the world, and for Malakai Bayoh, that moment came long 0:088 seconds before he understood the price he would eventually pay. The young singer walked into Britain's Got Talent with nothing more than discipline, innocence, and the 0:1717 seconds encouragement of a family that believed in him. But behind his angelic tone and the instant admiration he received, a 0 to 26 seconds quiet storm was already gathering, one that would test his spirit far more than any judge's critique. Today, we revisit 0:35 seconds, the rise of a prodigy whose journey was shaped not only by applause, but by loss, pressure, and a tragedy no child should ever confront. 0:46 seconds, the prodigy begins. Malakai Bayoh was born in 2010 in London. 0:52 seconds, a child of Sierra Leonean parents who had come to the United Kingdom searching for stability and opportunity. He grew up in a modest home filled with music. 1:021 2 seconds, faith, and the type of community support that keeps immigrant families anchored in a new country. His mother, who knew 1:091 9 seconds every sound that came from her young son, was the first to recognize that the voice echoing through their apartment wasn't ordinary. She insisted he join 1:181 18 seconds, the choir at St. George's Cathedral in Suffolk, a decision he would later describe jokingly as the work of his 1:251 25 seconds bossy mom, but one that changed his life completely. At the cathedral, under choir master Scott Price, Malakai 1 verse 341 34 seconds discovered discipline, structure, and the emotional depth of classical music. 1:391 39 seconds, he learned how to handle pressure, how to stand firm during performances, and above all, how to use his voice as a 1:461 46 seconds vessel for feeling. By age 7, his singing had already begun to turn heads. 1:511 51 seconds, but it wasn't until a school Christmas performance of Oh Holy Night went viral online that the world outside of South 1:581 58 seconds London began to notice him. Millions of views poured in, and with them came the unmistakable sense that something 2:062 6 seconds extraordinary had arrived. By November 2022, Malakai had stepped onto the stage of the Royal Opera House for his solo 2:142 14 seconds debut in Handel's Alina, portraying the role of Oberto. Critics described him as a star in the making, a young performer 2:232 23 seconds who carried emotional resonance far beyond his years. Just a month later, he performed Christmas duets with Welsh 2:302 30 seconds tenor Led Jones, their voices blending across viral videos that amassed more than 30 million views. His rise seemed 2:382 38 seconds unstoppable, and his path toward national recognition was clear, so when he auditioned for Britain's Got Talent in 2:452 45 seconds 2023, the world expected something special, but no one was prepared for what came next. 2:532 53 seconds, the audition that changed everything. 2:572 57 seconds, when Malakai Bayoh walked onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2023, he was only 13 years old, yet carried 3:053 5 seconds himself with a calmness that felt strangely mature. Backstage, his family had tried their best to keep him 3:123 12 seconds grounded, his mother offering last-minute reassurance, his sister cheering him on with the kind of pride only siblings 3:203 20 seconds understand. But the moment he faced the judges, Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, 3:253 25 seconds, Alea Dixon, and Bruno Tonioli, he transformed from a shy boy into something far more commanding. His 3:333 33 seconds choice of Payezu by Sarah Brightman was bold, even risky for someone his age. 3:403 40 seconds, but Malakai was used to doing difficult things long before he reached the stage. The room fell into a deep 3:473 47 seconds reverent silence as soon as he began. 3:503 minutes, 50 seconds. Every note floated out with purity and control, the kind that made even seasoned performers hesitate to breathe. 3:583 minutes, 58 seconds. Simultaneously celestial and grounded. 4:014 minutes, 1 second. His voice carried a conviction that no one expected from a teenager standing on the biggest stage of his life. 4:094 minutes, 9 seconds. A minute into the performance, Alicia Dixon was visibly stunned. Bruno Tonioli, usually flamboyant in his 4:174 minutes, 17 seconds responses, froze completely, overwhelmed by what he was hearing, and then came the final note, held with such clarity. 4:264 minutes, 26 seconds, and steadiness that the hall erupted instantly after. The applause rose in waves, and for a moment Malakai seemed 4:354 minutes, 35 seconds, almost startled by the magnitude of the moment. Simon Cowell leaned forward, his expression unusually soft, and uttered 4:434 minutes, 43 seconds, the single word that would echo across the internet within hours: golden. 4:504 minutes, 50 seconds. Without hesitation, he hit the golden buzzer. Golden confetti fell as the young singer stood blinking through the 4:574 minutes, 57 seconds. Tears he never expected to shed that day. His mother rushed on stage, holding him tightly while the audience continued. 5:055 minutes, 5 seconds. Their ovation. It wasn't just a promotion to the semi-finals, it was a national unveiling. Overnight, Malakai 5 verse 135 minutes, 13 seconds became a household name, and his audition spread across social media with millions of shares, reactions, and headlines. 5:215 minutes, 21 seconds, calling him the angelic voice of the season. But behind the celebrations, 5:275 minutes, 27 seconds behind the applause and the sudden flood of attention, something else was growing, something far more fragile than 5:345 minutes, 34 seconds fame. As Malakai moved toward the semi-finals, the world saw only a rising star. What they didn't see was the 5:435 minutes, 43 seconds weight beginning to settle on his young shoulders, a weight that would grow heavier with every step he took. Stardom and the pressures no one saw coming. 5:545 minutes, 54 seconds. With the golden buzzer came expectations far heavier than any trophy or title. As Malakai advanced to the semifinals, the 6:036 minutes, 3 seconds world saw a confident young tenor preparing for the next stage, but privately, the pressure was becoming more intense than he ever imagined. 6:136 minutes, 13 seconds. Choosing Omo Babinoro, a challenging area by Puccini, wasn't just a musical decision, it was a test of emotional. 6:226 minutes, 22 seconds endurance. He entered rigorous vocal training sessions, working with coaches who treated him like a seasoned. 6:296 minutes, 29 seconds performer rather than a boy just barely entering his teens. Rehearsals consumed his days. He studied phrasing, breath. 6:386 minutes, 38 seconds control, and the emotional texture of pieces written centuries before he was born. 6:446 minutes, 44 seconds. Unlike many contestants who treated BGT as a stepping stone, Malakai carried the weight of a future already being. 6:516 minutes, 51 seconds projected onto him. Critics, fans, and professionals calling him the next great operatic star. For a child, such praise is both intoxicating and suffocating. 7:047 minutes, 4 seconds. But Malakai didn't complain. Instead, he poured everything he had into the semi-finals. When he stepped onto the 7:117 minutes, 11 seconds stage to perform, the judges were left stunned once again. Bruno Tonioli clasped his hands together and declared 7:197 minutes, 19 seconds him a gift from God. Amanda Holden praised his bravery. Alicia said she felt spellbound, and the voting public. 7:287 minutes, 28 seconds responded just as powerfully, pushing him directly into the finals. Yet, even as he celebrated, there were small 7:367 minutes, 36 seconds cracks forming beneath the surface. The pressure to exceed expectations every time he opened his mouth became a quiet. 7:447 minutes, 44 seconds burden he rarely spoke about. The sudden fame, the interviews, the crowds, the responsibilities, 7:5:27 minutes, 52 seconds. These were things adults struggled to manage, and Malakai was expected to take them in stride. What the audience didn't 7:5:97 minutes, 59 seconds know, what no camera captured, was the emotional weight this young singer carried alone in the quiet moments after